Why do 84% of people feel unseen when they do something kind? Because true giving isn't always noticed, but it always matters. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Do it anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you'll win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Honesty and transparency may make you vulnerable. Be honest and transparent anyway. What you spend years building may be destroyed overnight. Build anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway, because in the end it was never between you and them. It was between you and God. So keep giving, keep dreaming, and keep shining, even when no one notices. You're making a difference.
Don't die with your music still in you. The wealthiest place in the world isn't the oil fields, gold mines, or Silicon Valley. It's the graveyard, where dreams were buried, songs left unsung, and gifts never given. Inside every one of us is a unique melody, a calling, a message, a light the world has never seen before. But somewhere along the way, we were told we weren't good enough, and so we stopped. We buried our passions under fear, rejection, and responsibilities. Yet the music still lives, buried but beating. But it's never too late. Your story isn't over. That music in you still wants to be heard. You don't need a stage. You just need to begin. The world needs your voice, your truth, your spark. Don't die with your music still in you. Let it rise, let it shine, let it sing.
The power of one drop can start a ripple. One spark can ignite a flame. One voice can stir a movement. Never underestimate the power of one. All great movements in history began with one person, who chose to speak, to act, to believe. They weren't giants. They were just people, who decided not to wait for someone else. One act of kindness. One moment of courage. One decision to care can change a life. The world may never notice the small things you do, but the one person it touched will never forget. The difference between despair and hope, darkness and light, can come down to one person. You. So speak, act, dream, serve, believe, because one can change everything.
In a world obsessed with power, Abraham Lincoln taught me something far greater: humility. He was the President of the United States, yet he never saw himself above the common man. In the midst of war, he wrote personal letters to the mothers of fallen soldiers, not for publicity, but because he cared. He didn't lead with pride, he led with pain and compassion. He asked hard questions of himself. He admitted when he was wrong. He listened more than he spoke. Even when mocked, he stayed steady. He didn't attack, he responded with grace. From Lincoln, I learned that true greatness isn't loud, it's humble, it's honest, it's human. You don't need a title to lead, you just need character. Be like Lincoln. Lead with humility.
The miracle of forgiveness. Some wounds run deeper than time, and some scars are not on the skin, but the soul. He had hurt the one he loved the most. Words he couldn't take back, actions he couldn't undo. But one day, he chose courage, not to defend himself, but to say the hardest words, "I'm sorry. Will you forgive me?" Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it releases the grip of pain. In that embrace, years of silence melted. Two broken hearts began to beat again. Forgiveness didn't change the past, but it changed everything about the future. True forgiveness is not weakness. It's the power to set two souls free. Give it, receive it, live again.
The power of a promise. Promises are small. Some are forgotten. but others shape who we become. In a quiet moment before battle, a soldier gave his friend a letter. He said, "If I don't make it, please take this to my family." A simple request. A heavy promise. The war ended. But for the one who survived, the mission wasn't over. He traveled miles, through towns and silence, not because he had to, but because he gave his word. When he finally delivered the letter, there were no medals. Only tears. And peace. He didn't forget. Because some promises are more than words. They're sacred. In a world full of noise, let your word be your legacy. Honor your promises. No matter how long it takes.
The shoe shine man. In a world rushing to be seen, there was one man content to serve. He wasn't famous. He didn't own much. But every morning, like clockwork, he polished not just shoes, but hearts. Some walked past him without a glance. Others came just to feel the kindness in his eyes. He made everyone feel seen. Rain or shine, he showed up. Not for applause, but because excellence was his habit. One day, someone asked him, "Why do you do this with so much pride?" He looked up and said, "Because this is my gift to the world." That simple answer stayed with him. It shaped the way he worked, the way he lived, the way he served. You don't need a title to leave a legacy, you just need heart. Do small things with great love, shine anyway.
I expected an ordinary ride, but what I got was a lesson in greatness. The taxi driver greeted me with a warm smile and handed me a bottle of water. "Welcome, sir," he said, like I was royalty. I wasn't. But for those 30 minutes, I felt like it. He wasn't just driving, he was serving, not with flash but with quiet pride. He had turned a job into a craft. Excellence doesn't begin in the spotlight, it starts in private, in preparation, in intention. That day I realized, greatness isn't about status. It's about how you show up, even when no one's watching. We don't need more noise. We need more people who do ordinary things, with extraordinary character. Be excellent. Be consistent. Be proud of your craft. You never know who you're inspiring. Just like that taxi driver.
Some people chase power, others pursue fame, but a teacher, a guide, they reach for something more. They touch the future. Every lesson given, every word of encouragement, every patient explanation plants a seed in a soul that hasn't yet fully bloomed. Krista McAuliffe didn't just teach science. She believed in it. She believed in people. And she believed that learning could take us beyond the stars. When she boarded that shuttle, she carried more than a mission. She carried every dream she ever helped ignite. Because of one voice that said, "You can do this," lives were changed, futures were shaped, purpose was born. You may not see the fruit today, but every time you give your best to someone else's future, you leave a mark that never fades. Legacy isn't what you leave behind, it's what you launch ahead. Touch the future, teach, inspire, lead.